Let me thank all of you very much for taking the time to be here. To the school board members, thank you for your leadership, your stewardship. Thank you for the privilege of your attendance. To our superintendent, thank you for your excellence. Thank you for leading by example. I'll talk more about that in a moment. To our mayor, thank you, Madam Mayor. To our remarkable leaders in education and leaders in this collective cause to address the issue of literacy head on, and those that spoke, including the superintendent. I'm grateful for the opportunity to share some thoughts about your work and our collective vision moving forward. It's not lost on me as someone that's long followed and admired President Bill Clinton. We talked a lot about the issues of community, and Madam Mayor, you began by talking about this extraordinary community, Compton. The superintendent talked about our responsibility in terms of advancing opportunity, three pillars in so many respects of the Clinton presidency: community, opportunity, and responsibility. And it's the emphasis on responsibility that I want to follow up on. We have a responsibility to do more and do better as it relates to the educational outcomes, particularly as it relates to literacy in this state. But I want to paint a picture and at least give you a version of the state of literacy in the state of California. From 2011, this is an interesting fact that doesn't get shared often. From 2011 to 2022, no other state in America did better with 8th grade reading than the state of California. We had the fastest growth of any state in the country. In fact, not only in 8th grade reading and 4th grade reading, we were one of 3 states with the fastest growth in 4th grade reading. The gaps, however, persist. And the reality is, frankly, we had such a low bar in 2011 that we're not necessarily jumping up and down on where we landed in 2022 and as we worked out of the pandemic, where we are today. And so it's a recognition that we need to be more resolved to do better and do more. And we are doing more than ever. And the new plan that we're putting out today, this Golden State Literacy Plan, is a step-by-step plan to make real what we are promoting. This is the work of many of the people you see behind me, hundreds and others that have participated in a process that has unfolded over the course of the last many, many years, that accelerated in the midst of the pandemic and post-pandemic. A focus on addressing these gaps, a focus on addressing strategies to improve outcomes. Marshall mentioned one of the critical outcomes that has been delayed but not denied, and that is a comprehensive screener for every kindergartner, first grader, and second grader. We partnered with UCSF, best in class. We didn't rush to do this. We did it the right way. We funded it with $28.7 million. We addressed the ESL issues that were component parts and concerns about a screener. And we are now fully implementing that free of charge all throughout the state of California. We're providing an additional $25 million to provide professional development on the utilization of that screener, and it will be fully operational this fall. We have backed that up with an additional request of the legislature to double down on our learning coaches and learning specialists. We provided those grants, thank you, $500 million a number of years ago. We're going to provide another $500 million to provide additional supports. The superintendent mentioned 818 schools that have taken advantage of these learning specialists. 3,000 teachers have gotten the training. We've created regional hubs all throughout the state, 12 specific regional hubs, and we've got literacy teams attached to those hubs. So we're doubling now the availability of those grants and the opportunity to continue to get reading specialists like those that are here in this district and like those that are behind me. We also recognize we need to do more in terms of preparing our kids. I say this all the time. Our kids are not left behind, they start behind. And that's why it's critical we talk about prenatal care. It's why it's critical we talk about 0 to 3, but it was critical that we finish the job, and we're doing it this year. And this is a big deal. This year we are fully funded and fully implemented a brand new grade in the state of California. This was a vision, modest expansion, but we're going to fulfill the entire vision this year. $2.1 billion backing that up. to do TK for all in the state of California. But here's the way we're doing it that's different than most. It's about quality instruction. And that's why we're putting an additional, this year in this budget, an additional $1.2 billion to reduce the teacher-student ratio from 12 to 1 to 10 to 1, which is a significant investment and one that we firmly are committed to in this budget. When the superintendent talks about those priorities, there are those that don't think that should be a priority this year. We're maintaining it because we think it's essential to not just talk about access, but to talk about quality when it comes to TK for all. Something else we're doing that is a big deal, and these things don't tend to get the kind of attention I think they deserve. Working with the legislature, the superintendent, and educational leaders throughout the state, we went on a journey over the last few years, and we are going to complete that journey this year. $4.4 billion of additional investment for After School for All and Summer School for All. That focus is firm. In fact, we're adding an additional $435 million in this year's budget to complete that job. 9 hours a day of enriched learning opportunity and a minimum of 30 days during the summer of subsidized learning, unprecedented in California's history. You may recall there was a governor many years ago, to his credit, talked about After School for All, but we invested just a few $100 million. We fell nowhere close to achieving that goal. This year, full commitment, Summer School for All, After School for All, and that includes high-dose tutoring. It includes intentional framework around instruction for those that are struggling with reading and literacy. Marshall mentioned the bill that we're proud to support and the compromise with legislative leaders and the leadership of the Speaker of the Assembly. We look forward. We attached that bill to the budget, so we mean business. We want to get that done, and we got it done. We hope we'll get it done with an additional $200 million attached to it. Marshall mentioned the professional development. We're backing that up, not with rhetoric, but with $200 million, real resources to support that cause. And in closing, I just want to reinforce the reference that Marshall made. We were building this plan, and we decided there was a little introductory letter that, frankly, was a little perfunctory. And we decided to change the letter a little bit. And forgive me, I guess it's a privilege of 6+ years in this office, but I made it a little more personal, as Marshall said about my journey. You'll see, once again, I don't read speeches because I can't. But that didn't stop me from, getting through high school, getting through elementary school, then high school, and through college. You don't want to know how I did with my SAT, 960. But I got into college because the grace of, folks like yourselves that believed in me and, ability to hit a baseball. And it gave me a pathway, me here every single day. There's not a day where my dyslexia does not expose itself. If anyone's seen my writing, they can attest to how it exposes itself. And so this has been an imperative for me to do more and do better in this space. We did $6.5 billion of learning recovery grants to get our way out of COVID. Some of the most important work was on the social emotional side, but also on the literacy side. And that really inspired this next iteration and inspired this plan. And so I know there's so many others that are on that similar journey. And I know that they are struggling, and I know that many are left behind. And a lot of those kids are called dumb. A lot of those kids end up in special education, where I sort of crossed over here and there. And you have all these remarkable people that just need a little bit of support, a little bit extra. And so that's what this district is providing. That's what Clinton Elementary does with excellence. That's what this plan sets out to do, to fill those voids and close those gaps. And I couldn't be more grateful for all of their outstanding leadership. Final thing that I want to say. Mr. Superintendent, I can't tell you how many times I haven't had a chance to brag in front of you, but we've been bragging behind your back all over down the damn state. It's an extraordinary story, Compton. And I hope for all those folks out there that are so consumed by personalities, who's up, who's down, what Elon Musk tweeted today and what Trump said tomorrow, can focus on what matters. And what matters is happening right here in Compton. What matters is happening right here at Clinton Elementary. What matters is that they matter. And what matters is they're proving a paradigm for all your cynicism, all your fear and anxiety that we can't solve these problems. They are a proof point they can be solved. They're the antidote to that fear, that anxiety. They are proving, not asserting, that we can turn this stuff around. Success leaves clues. It's not that damn complicated. And so we would all be well advised up and down the state, across this country, to come to Compton and learn about how it's done. That's right. And look to scale this. And so congratulations. If you guys aren't filled with pride, you sure as hell should be. This is a remarkable, remarkable story. And that's why we're grateful and honored to be here announcing this plan, because so much of it is in practice and inspired by the great work being done here. Thank you all for the opportunity to present this vision, and look forward to answering any questions that you may have.
Governor, Kamala Harris was also in Compton today. Was that, I'm curious if that was a coincidence or purposeful, and also whether you think she's going to run for governor.
Oh, you have to ask her about that. And I think it was coincidental, and I'm glad she was, and I'm not surprised she was. She's been here many, many times, and she's very close to the community, and I know she was invited by one of the principal leaders there at the high school.
You think she should run for governor now?
Oh, I got someone right behind me running for governor, so I'm gonna be very careful here, and very respectful. I appreciate that. Anyone else?
It's unrelated. I'm doing a story on this.
Well, that was unrelated too, so I appreciate it.
On that thread, the high-speed rail project, you continue to be a champion of the California high-speed rail project. What is your response to the Federal Rail Authority's announcement that the Department of Transportation plans to devote nearly $4 billion?
Yeah, I mean, it's predictable, daylight and darkness. So, I mean, this is what Trump did the first administration, came up with, some nonsense. We got that money back. We'll litigate. We're responding. The vast majority of this is funded by the state of California, not the federal government. We're the only fully functioning high-speed rail project in the Western Hemisphere. We're on the other side of all the environmental work. 2,000 actual number, 2,270 parcels have been brought into the High-Speed Rail Authority. Over 1,000 utilities have been undergrounded and addressed. We've gotten through the right-of-ways. We've gotten through 98% of all the environmental work, and we're laying track. We're actually in the process, quite literally, of laying the track that goes to where the railhead will be. So we're on the other side of this process, and we're committed to finishing the job.
Recently, you've mentioned that transgender women competing in women's sports is unfair. Is there any action that you would do with that?
Well, legislature, there were 2 bills in the legislature that didn't get out of committee recently. The CIF, we worked with the CIF on this latest iteration of what we try to find some balance. And we'll continue to work with folks of good faith that want to find a pathway here to address people's concerns. And forgive me, it's not an indictment. I do think it's interesting that we're having this conversation at Clinton Elementary, talking about literacy and talking about one of the most critical issues facing education in the United States of America. And it just reinforces what that's all about and what the Trump administration's all about. And it's at the core, I think, of so much that we're going to have to figure out in this country. I appreciate the question. I've expressed my point of view on the issue. Legislature has a different point of view. The law was enshrined by the former governor. The law needs to change in the state of California for that process to unfold differently. But I think we would all do much better focusing on the critical issue of literacy and the critical issue of education in this country that is so much more important than the distraction that often is the weaponization on this issue. Anybody else?
One more?
Yeah.
Another on the gubernatorial race, but I promise not to.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It's not uncommon, pretty common as the race heats up for candidates to criticize the sitting governor. That is the nature of politics as they seek to distinguish themselves. Do you think that will hurt your ability to get things done in the next year as
come on.
America?
Are you suggesting that I was critical of Jerry Brown when I ran for governor? I don't know that it impacted Governor Brown's ability to govern the state. Quite the contrary. So no, you should Google me sometime. I get criticized a bit. I think so. You know, I think that's part of the job. Anybody else? Well, thank you all very much, and hope you all take time to look at this step-by-step strategy. And again, compliments to all of you for all of your outstanding work and inspiring this moment. Thank you.